For example, Jews who are mostly white in America. Here's some news, Evan. Jews are not white. They are a very specific people. There's a country where if you're a Jew, you can go live there. As a mostly Germanic descended white man, man of the West, I can't get a citizenship there because I'm not a Jew. So that means that they are a distinct people. They're not mostly white. They're not white at all. So excluding them from a public school group that is supposed to help students deal with the trauma of hate crimes is anti-Semitic in effect, if not in intent. Okay, so now we just get the thrust of what this anti-white filth just said. Excluding white people from things might end up excluding non-white people like Jews, and therefore it's wrong. Now, if it can exclude white people without excluding non-white people like Jews, then it's okay. Now you see what Evan is getting at, don't you? These are the kind of people that Evan is writing to. And what he has just told them and what they will now say to you, because they don't get a thought of their own in their head, they're just getting it from Evan, who writes for Forbes, anti-white publication. They're going to say, you know what? The reason why these groups that exclude white people might be bad is because they might end up excluding white people who are part of victim groups like LGBTQ or Jews who look like they're white people. Just like, remember the professor out there on the West Coast, and there was a no white people get to come to college day, no white people, and the Jewish professor shows up and they're like, "What? Get the hell out of here." And he's like, "What are you talking about? I'm a Jew," he says. And they say, "What? So you're going to get out?" They got a little overzealous that day. How about just a couple of weeks ago when some non-white, anti-white pieces of shit charged up to two white guys in a library at Arizona State University and said, "This is a multiracial space. Ergo, your white asses have to get the hell out." Who got to decide? Was it the white guys? Did they go up and say, "Excuse me, you appear to be white to me, but what do you identify as?" No, they said, "You're white, get out of a multiracial space." Multiracial. What were they telling you there? I wish I could take everybody from all these years that I've had these conversations and drag them, all these white people, and drag them up from the past somehow. Where's Marty McFly? I need the time machine. Where's the DeLorean when I need it? Grab those SOBs and say, when they say multiracial, when they say diverse, they mean none of you. They mean no white people. When they say they're going to diversify the workforce, that means your white ass is about to get fired. When they say they're going to make your neighborhood more multiracial, that means that your white ass is going to get driven out. When they say that the college is going to become more multiracial, that means your children are not going to get accepted no matter how much money you pay for them. And all these white people over the years, no, it doesn't mean that. No, anything to get out of identifying with our own race and standing up for against those who would victimize us, anything. Oh, no, it doesn't mean that. And then all the white women wringing their hands. No, can't we just, what's wrong with you, Jason? Can't you just be good to these people and just get along? Well, bitches, men and women, well, we now get to see, I guess Jason was right. Where are the phone calls? No, that's why I need Marty McFly. Break out the DeLorean. He's lying to you. That's how they work in the anti-white, because they have no morality. Because their morality is to serve the anti-white morality, which means anything goes to arrive at an anti-white conclusion. You all know that by now. There's obviously been governmental discrimination against minorities. Oh, obviously? No, as a matter of fact, there hasn't been shit of discrimination or persecution, Evan. There hasn't been any, as a matter of fact. You can look at every single law, every single code, at every university, at everywhere. There isn't anywhere. That's why you all have to come up with things like institutional racism, because it's not written, it's not being applied, no one is being directly affected. So you have to say it's just in the ether. Evan, that's why you all make up lies like that. So you're starting off with lies. Nothing bad happening to white people, but still bad things happening to non-white people. there has obviously been governmental discrimination against minorities. And remember, we never say minorities because non-white people are not in a precarious situation. White people are in a precarious situation. A tiny minority of the world's population, a minority in almost every single city across the West, and increasingly by, of course, 7 more years or so, 8 more years or so from now, roughly, we're going to be a minority in the United States and increasingly in other Western countries, numerically minority. Everyone knows white people are the only race that you can legally and morally discriminate and persecute against in the totality of the West. So he's trying to diminish our persecution, our suffering, by saying we are one of many groups that are just suffer. When they start coming for the white people, let it please God, let it be these anti-white white people out there whose homes they get to first, not ours. I don't want anybody getting harmed, but the anti-whites, they're marching. They marched all during the summer, so they're marching.